Yay Networks.
Hi there, I'm Nia Sanchez, and you may recognize me as Miss USA and first runner-up at Miss Universe. Well, there is so much more to me than the sash, the crown, the dresses, the chicken cutlets, and the butt glue. Yep, that's a real thing, and we'll get into that later. I am a 4th degree black belt, a women's self-defense instructor, a mother, and a wife to my amazing co-host, Daniel Booko. We are keeping it real as we dig into relationships, parenting, confidence, self-defense, travel, all the joys and struggles that come with living this beautiful thing we call life. So pull up a chair and throw your hair in a messy bun as we chat with all types of life experts. So make sure to like, follow, subscribe, and look out for Hold My Crown wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts. Hey
what
guys!
Little baby boo, let's go.
We are back.
We are ready.
Welcome back to the Hold My Crown podcast.
We haven't slept in a week. We are sleep training our babies.
Oh.
What is going on with life?
I don't feel like a full human right now, but you know, life is life.
Look at what my shirt says.
That shirt is so accurate.
Tired Dad.
Shout out to Jax.
Jax
sent
Taylor.
that to you.
Sent that. I think he got it from someone, and he said, dude, I think you deserve this way more than I do because I have one child and you had 3 under 2.
Yeah, so that's the perfect sweater for you.
But we ready to get this popping.
Hold on, I want to do a little intro.
Oh, sorry.
Welcome. And okay, you guys. So we are on week 4 officially. We're like rolling and grooving. We're getting into the flow of this podcast. And I am so glad that Morgan Romano, Miss USA 2022, was our very first guest. We have a
You got Raymond Romano on our 4th episode? That's massive.
That would be your guest because you are an actor. That's your thing. Morgan was Miss USA.
Morgan.
Yes. Okay.
I'm surprised you even know Ray Romano.
Hello. Didn't you watch whatever that show was that he was on?
Yeah, it was called Ray Romano, wasn't it?
No, it was I don't know.
Everybody knows it.
Everybody loves Raymond?
Let's go. Continue.
Okay.
Sleep deprivation.
So if you have not listened to last week's episode 3 with Morgan, Miss USA, I loved it. She dropped some major tea. My jaw was dropped.
Mine too.
First chunk of the episode. And then she also left us with a lot of inspiration. So we have been diving into the pageant world the first few weeks.
Yes.
Everything has to touch on pageants because, that's a bit of my background. But today we are diving into the world of
reality TV.
Yes. Okay. We are diving. Was it horrible? You're the voice actor.
I'm a little tired.
Okay. So guess what, y'all? In case you haven't heard, we filmed a reality show.
What?
And it's coming out this spring.
No, it's not.
And we're going to tell you all about it.
I can't believe it.
We're going to tell you as much as we can tell you.
We can't say anything.
We're going to tell you as much as we're allowed to. So we'll tell you everything. Maybe not.
Please don't fine us, Bravo.
We have a Booko button of the week. And we'll take a quick little break and then we will get right into all of the reality show details.
Oh, boy.
Okay, so my button was pushed today about 10 minutes ago. And why do you always make everything inappropriate?
I wasn't even making it inappropriate.
What?
That was you, dude.
It's you. So it's really honestly not that big of a deal. I'm just so tired that everything is a big deal. So Daniel used the ice that I liked.
Oh my goodness. This is so ridiculous.
I bought these really cute ice cube molds that make circular ice. And I just wanted to make sure I had enough for my cup, which I do. So I was mad at him for a second. I was like, you used all my ice, but I'm literally chugging an energy drink right now, you guys.
Look how small these ice cubes are. There's 1,000 of them. If you're not watching and you're listening, there's 1,000 of them in our freezer right now.
They're cute little balls.
And oh my goodness.
Anywho.
Jeez.
They're pretty.
Nia.
I like pretty things.
And I used about 6 of them for my iced coffee because I'm trying to,
You're drinking
survive on
coffee. I'm
fumes.
drinking a natural energy drink.
And you were mad that I took some of your balls.
So I guess my button is when you take things from the fridge or freezer that are for me. Like the other night, I pulled out a cookie from my favorite cookie place that is now closed, and so I only have a few, and I put it on the counter to defrost, and you ate it.
That's not true.
Yes, you did. I
true.
took a bath. It was like my self-care Sunday or something. And I woke up to get my cookie as like a nightcap, my cookie nightcap. And Daniel ate it. And the wrapper was in the trash can.
This woman.
I am is the word possessive of
yes.
all of my food and drinks and special cups.
We have children.
I don't like normal cups.
We have children,
cups.
okay?
Yeah.
You need to make an example of what it is to share.
It's really hard.
And Nia, when she found out this cookie place was closing, she went and stood in line hours before to get cookies.
67 minutes.
To freeze them.
Mm-hmm.
And not just that, she got, would you get your chocolate milk chai thing?
It's a
and
cookie
those
milk
are frozen
matcha.
Blocks
Yes.
in our freezer.
I
that
froze
she
defrosted. Yes.
Defrosts. It's life. What the heck?
You guys, this is going to be a great episode because we're so tired. So just like you are hanging out with us
I'm
on our
doing
couch.
Great.
And we're chilling and we're chatting and we're telling you our new best friends. You guys are our best friends, telling you all about this show that we filmed. So we're going to take a quick little break. And when we come back, we're going to spill the beans.
Oh, boy.
Spill the tea. I like tea.
Spill the beans.
It's piping hot. Let's take a break. Welcome back from the break, you guys. Okay, so today's episode will be a little two-parter. Right now, we're talking all about the reality show that we did called The Valley.
The Valley.
And then our second part of this will be answering your questions from Instagram. And I will say we did get some feedback from episode 1 where it was like the get to know the bookos. In the comments on the YouTube video of this podcast, and in the Ask Me Anything questions for today, people want to hear the whole story, your version of how we met. So that will be included later today. But first, we're talking about The Valley.
So basically, people wanted to hear me talk more.
Yes.
And take over the podcast.
I am so tired. You can have it all. I can take a nap while you do this.
Welcome to being Booko, ladies and gentlemen. What was the question?
You're leading this podcast now. Let's go.
All right. So we did a show called The Valley
Yeah.
and last year. And the first question was, how did we meet the cast of The Valley? Is that the first question?
It is, and I think this is perfect for you since you are now leading the podcast. You can answer it because you got us connected with all of our friends.
This is true. So I had known this man by the name of Jax Taylor.
That's not his real name, right?
It's not his real name.
What's his real name?
Jason Couchy. Jason Couchy?
Yeah.
Yes. But, he had a stage name when he was modeling and doing all that type of stuff. When he moved out to LA, Jax Taylor. Mm-hmm. So I had known him throughout the years, but only through acquaintances and mutual friends. Yeah. But a couple years ago, we actually connected. We went to a football game. It was the Lions against the Rams. The Rams beat the Lions. Now the Lions just lost to the 49ers. Anyway, a couple years ago, went to this football game together. Found out we were from the same state, Michigan. Go Blue. Go Lions. And really hit it off. And he had a son. We were about to have a kid. And he was like, yo, dads, we got to stick together. Our wives need to meet each other. This is going to be, perfect. So they were the first ones we really connected with. We went over to their place for a New Year's Eve party. I think that was where we met.
That was the first time that I met the crew at the New Year's Eve party. I was very protective of the end of my pregnancy and my early newborn stages with Asher. So Daniel was already like hanging out with the crew when I was still pregnant, and he was like, come on, let's go grab lunch with everybody or go hang out. And I was like, no, I'm about to have a baby. So you were hanging out with a lot of the friend group before I was, and I met everybody on New Year's Eve. And actually, so funny, I was thinking about this the other day because I knew we were going to tell this story. The first person I remember meeting actually was Lala, because she was right by the door when we walked in. Maybe she had just walked in, or she was just in that area. And I never watched any of these shows. So I didn't know.
From Vanderpump.
Right,
Rules.
from Vanderpump. And so I just thought she was so pretty. And I was like, oh my gosh, do I know you? Do you do pageants? Like, I was like, she's got to be a pageant girl because she's so pretty. But then she was like, no, but my name's Lala. And, we got to know each other. And we actually had mutual friends in the pageant world, which was funny. Yeah. But that was the first New Year's Eve. Asher was 6 weeks old, was the first night that I met everybody. And I was so nervous to go to a group gathering with such a little baby. It was still a little bit of kind of COVID times. People still weren't really going out. It was just kind of ending the COVID, stuff. So yeah, I had him wrapped on me the whole time. And I was like, I'm not letting anybody touch my baby. But you wanted to like show our baby off to everybody. Like, let me hold him. I'm like, nope. He's staying attached to mama. But that's how we met everybody.
Yes.
And that was
you and Brittany hit it off
group.
right away.
Oh my gosh.
She had done pageants and
she was from Kentucky, and the Miss USA that year that had just won a few months before was also from Kentucky. So we connected on that. She told me that Miss USA had also worked at Hooters, and Brittany had worked at Hooters. Yeah. So there was a lot of connections there. And honestly, I love meeting everyone, but I just have such a clear memory of Brittany being the most warm and welcoming like energy. Yeah. Like it was just so like so sweet.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So that's how we met everybody.
And same for Jax. When I first met him, and everybody was like, how are you hanging out with Jax? He's the biggest D-bag and blah, 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 blah. And, all this. And it was
I never thought that.
It was exactly the opposite. Well, we never watched the show.
Exactly. So we met people where they were.
He's an icon. He's a reality star icon.
You're right. But we met everybody where they were in their life at that
And Kristen
season.
Doty, we met her that night as well.
Kristen and Stassi and Katie and everybody.
A lot of the VPR cast.
Yeah.
Which obviously some are now on the Valley.
Exactly.
And doing, can we say this?
Well, we know there's some crossover. Stuff. Everybody knows there's crossover.
Yeah, everybody knows there's crossover. Alex Baskin, who's the executive producer, has talked about that.
Yeah. When did we decide to do the show?
So a few months after that, maybe probably 5 or 6 months after of hanging out with them. What are you doing?
Taking a nap.
Stop, dude. Jax hits me up out of the blue. He says, hey, we got an idea about a new reality show, and we think you and Nia would be perfect.
He's like, it's going to be about our friends. So, like, you guys are friends. Yeah. Let's, do a show together.
Yeah. Kind of like the same thing, like, people that did the young Hollywood lifestyle and now live in the Valley and, are raising kids and doing that type of thing. Obviously open to talking more about it and so we did that and met with the producers, and then slowly it kind of fizzled out. Mm-hmm. And then 2 years later, or maybe a year and a half later.
We all know this. Okay, so there was Scandival, and we already had the show that was like kind of in production. They're like, let's just do it. Everybody's kind of connected.
It was like, it's greenlit. We want to get this shooting ASAP.
Yes. So we started filming not too long after.
Right.
Yeah.
You have it.
And then we filmed a show.
We did.
Yeah, you guys are going to see it on TV. That's crazy. Daniel's been on TV so many times, but in scripted.
Exactly.
Things.
This is my first unscripted.
Exactly. So we'll see how that goes.
What are you talking about?
You guys, I'm literally delirious. I'm so delirious. Next question.
We can't keep saying that anymore because then we're just going to be a delirious podcast.
All right. We have 3 more questions when it comes to talking about the reality show. So, Daniel, did you ever envision yourself being a reality personality? Boom, boom, boom.
No, okay. I never did. But for I've been in the business for 20 years. And I've always done on camera and voiceover. Is something wrong with my hair? And during those times, it was like you didn't do a reality TV show. You were, an actor doing the craft and all that type of stuff. But I'd say in the last like 5 years or so, so many other actors are doing reality shows and Mark Wahlberg just did a thing with Wahlburgers and Arnold Schwarzenegger just did a thing with his family and Kevin Hart's done a few, so it's something that has changed the
Daniel can't think. I'm going to tell you, I'm going to have him, I'm going to pretend
not the mood of it, like the idea of it, of what it is. And it's become such a big thing because social media has become such a big thing.
Right, absolutely. And if you were to ask me that question, I would say, very specifically, for some reason, I have these very clear memories as a child where I was like, I never want to be in the spotlight.
Wow.
Never. I don't know what changed because
Miss
obviously
USA,
I
Miss
competed for
Universe.
Miss USA. I competed internationally in martial arts. Like I was very well known in that world. I always did well. And then I did Miss USA and won that. And, Miss Universe is one of the top watched shows in the world ratings wise, like millions and millions of viewers. I forget how many millions
Right.
it was last year, like crazy. 17 million, 11 million, 7 million, some like large number. And then we signed up to do a reality show. So obviously that very clear memory from my childhood is gone. But I still don't necessarily have the desire of like, I want to be famous. I think it's just, we happen to have friends that were in this world and we love them. And they were like, hey, let's do a fun project together. Like everybody was like, it's going to be so much fun. And we're friends. So why not do this together? So that was kind of my like, well, why not? That's
Right, pretty much.
literally how it was. It
It's
was
like,
not like,
hey, let's
it was-
try something different.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
It wasn't like, oh my gosh, let me be a reality personality. That wasn't a thing. It was just like, oh, let's do it with our friends. So I'm excited that we got to do something like this with our friends and share pieces of our life. Like, obviously, we can't talk about what the episodes will be.
Right.
But we got to share like a glimpse into our world more so than what we share on not really, on our social media. Because
Right.
on our social media, it's itsy bitsy little clips and the show is just going to share more of that. So yeah, 2 more questions, and then we'll get to all of your questions that you guys asked on Instagram. Alrighty. The last 2, I'll put both of them out there so we don't forget, because I might forget. We're going to talk about filming the trailer, just a teensy bit, and then we're going to talk about if we're looking forward to being on reality TV and like how we feel about it, and just more of like how we feel about the show coming out so soon. It's coming out in the spring is the official word from Bravo. But what was the first question?
You just said it.
I know, my brain, you guys, my brain.
How
Help, someone help me.
how does it feel to be a mother of twins? I think that was the question.
It's great.
No.
I love my baby.
No, the question. I don't even remember what the question was either. Get the dang paperback out.
Oh, we're
Frack!
going to talk about filming the trailer. Obviously, we can't go into tons of details and everything, but the trailer has been released. So if you guys watch Bravo, if you've seen it posted on our personal Instagram, I'm wearing green, Daniel's wearing blue, and it's the trailer of Jax like getting in the little...
It was genius. I mean,
It was so fun.
beyond my expectations of how much production was put into it.
I literally thought we were going to be in front of a green screen, and they were just
we
gonna be
shot
like...
it on the Universal lot.
Yes.
I mean, it was...
We were one street over from the Desperate Housewives street.
where I have worked.
You worked on that show.
Yep.
It was right next to Jaws. Like, it was in the middle of a real studio lot. And I know this is like no big deal for Daniel,
Right.
but I don't work on studio lots like
Right.
this. And so I was like, where are we?
Yeah.
This
Yeah.
is huge.
It was a massive production,
Yes, it was a
massive
huge
crew,
production.
and it was a lot of fun.
It was fun. And our little, I guess we should just talk about like our little scene that we did, and then we'll let everybody else like watch the clip.
Yeah.
But they had a giant kitty tub full of baby bottles and like pretend ice, like blinged out baby bottles. And then I had a baby bottle and I was supposed to be essentially like swirling it like it was a wine glass. And then you had a shaker
Yeah.
for like, making a little
Shaking a martini
or
yeah.
something. but I just loved the thought, the detail.
Yeah.
Every single thing that came together made it
themes
incredible.
for each couple.
Yeah.
And the creativity was awesome.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wonder when, probably after the show airs, we can like really share lots more behind the scenes. And I can't wait till you guys can see the official like group photo that we took. That I think someone's posted some behind the scenes already on Instagram, like on their stories, and then the fan pages took that and
You'll
shared
be seeing it soon
But
enough.
the official one is going to be great, and I'm so excited for you guys to see it. I actually am very excited. And I think when it comes to reality TV, you just have to know that it feels like it was so long ago. I almost don't remember all of it.
It's a blur.
So we're going to see what happens. We're going to be watching it and feel like we're discovering it right along with you guys.
We had a lot of fun. A lot of stuff was going on. And you know, it's just crazy and you hear anybody that talks about reality TV, you just shoot hundreds of hours of footage, and then they literally break it down to like 42 minutes in an episode.
42-minute episode.
So you just don't know how it's going to be edited and how, you know, what they're going to show, and have to leave on the cutting floor. And so we're excited to see how it plays out.
Yeah, I'm excited to discover it with you guys. It's going to be great. I think it's going to be really great. We've heard from like the whispers that it's really great.
Yeah.
All right, Daniel, before we do a little break, is there anything else that you can say and want to say about filming a reality show? It's hard because, like, what can we say?
Exactly.
We want to share as much as we absolutely can with you guys.
I really can't say much, and I'd rather. Oh, my brain.
Should we do a watch party?
I'm sure.
You know what? This is my idea, guys. We should do a Hold My Crown podcast subscribers actual in-person watch party in a new city every other week. We're taking the podcast on tour. How about that? It's not happening, obviously, but I'm saying we could find a place to host a watch party, like say in New York City. And if you're a subscriber, or you can come to the door and click subscribe, you can come in and we could do a watch party and like a meet and greet and maybe even like a live podcast recording or something. That would be so fun.
I love it.
And
now I actually love it.
Yeah.
I just woke up. I love that idea.
Thank you, you guys.
My brain just turned on.
You guys, we love you so much. Thank you for hanging in here with us. We are going to do a little break. We're going to come back, answer your questions from Instagram.
Oh, dang.
This week's episode.
Oh, dang.
Cool, fun, telling you all the details. Next week's episode is going to be so much fun. It's actually Daniel's favorite episode. We already recorded it. It's so much fun. It's the one about relationships.
Oh, yeah.
And we have so much good advice, and it's funny. So, anywho, let's take a break. We'll come back. We'll answer your questions. I love this very first question. I think it is an opportunity to be vulnerable and real with you guys. And I'm going to follow Daniel's lead for how vulnerable he wants to get. Okay. This question is from Yarina Morales. And it says, do you guys ever argue? I can't imagine the hectic schedule with 3 babies. How vulnerable do you want to be, Daniel? What do you want to tell the people? Because I want to like keep it 100, but like how comfortable are you? But like don't be fluffy about it. You know?
No, it's not fluffy. Obviously, it's a lot of work. Marriage is a lot of work. And
it's not actually that much work. Marriage isn't that much work all the time.
Of course not. Look, we're huge, obviously, advocates of marriage. Marriage is fun. Marriage is beautiful. Marriage is everything. When you have 3 kids, obviously there's different seasons of marriage.
Yeah.
And we are in a season right now. Mm-hmm. And we have been in a season, vulnerable, where it's been a little tough.
It's been really hard.
It's been really hard.
It's been really hard, you guys. And like I feel like we have really big ebbs and flows right now in this season. The first probably year of the girl's life, I'm expecting to be like this, where there are times like right now, today, and the last few days, we've really leaned into each other and on each other through the struggle and like the really hard times. But we have also had periods in the last few weeks even where it's been like multiple days or even like longer than a week where we are at each other's throats. Is that the phrase? Neck?
Yes.
And really short with each other. Our fuses are short and we snap back at each other. And that's not how we typically operate.
Right.
So I know for both of us, when it happens, it makes us very uncomfortable because that's not where we want to be, where we're used to being. It's not how we want to treat each other. But like, I can be super straightforward. Like, I haven't been kind like I want to be, especially like I would say the last 2.5 months have been really hard, where we've had those ebbs and flows where we're just like short fuses. And then times like right now where we actually are like finding strength in each other through the hard times. But I feel like it's important to let people know that, because I get so many DMs where it's like, you guys are so perfect, you guys are so funny, or like, you guys are so happy. And it's like, yes, we absolutely try to find the joy. Right. But goodness gracious, it has been hard. Even there was one Insta story where we were both like, this was like a week ago, maybe 2 weeks ago, and we were both laughing and like on the story. And someone was like, oh my gosh, you guys are always so happy together. And I was like,
you should have heard what she just said to me 2 seconds before that.
I think he was laughing in frustration because we both snapped at each other so many times that day. Yeah. So
yeah, it's been a rough couple months. Yeah. And you know, a lot of that is very much due to sleep deprivation.
I think most of it's sleep deprivation.
100%.
Yeah. We're not functioning at our best capacity right now.
Right. But we are sleep training our babies.
And it's going
even
great.
Before that, like the last couple weeks, we actually had a sit down and said, hey, I don't like where I'm at.
Yeah.
I don't like how I feel towards you right now.
Yeah.
And vice versa. Let's sit down. Let's have this conversation. You know, it's when you got 3 kids, you know, is so much going on and you have no fuse. It's literally no fuse. You're like ships in the night, and you can love someone and not really like someone sometimes. And that kind of was happening, and I hated it. Like, honestly, like I hated it. And I said, I saw it in other marriages and in other people's relationships. I said, that will never happen to me. You know, so many of these things that will never happen to me because I just
Daniel has rose-colored glasses sometimes about relationships, and I love that about him because he pulls us back to the good, and he's the one that really calls it out. Where I can get like, and just like not want to talk to him about whatever.
Can go days and weeks, and it just eats me up inside.
Well, it eats me up too, but you're the one that like you really intentionally pull us back to like, yo, this is not where we need to be.
Right.
Let's fix it now. Let's do the hard work to like not stay there for too long.
Right.
So I appreciate that. Thank you for being vulnerable, my love.
Yeah.
Okay.
But the last couple weeks have been
couple weeks.
Last couple weeks.
I'd say the last 7 days.
2 minutes.
Okay.
There's light at the end of the tunnel.
I believe it.
We see it.
Don't
say I believe it. We see it.
I do see it. I told Daniel that yesterday. I was like,
did you?
Or maybe 2 days ago? I told you.
I don't remember. What was 2 days ago?
Okay.
December.
All right. Let's do, you guys have so many great questions. I'm going to try to get through them.
Let's go. Rapid fire.
All right. Ooh, this is from Heather.
Heather, what is going on?
Heather Brene. She said, oh, just saw the reality show slide. How was it working with Jax?
You want to start?
We can't tell you about specifically the stuff that you're going to see on air. We can tell you, as a friend, we love him. And I've now seen some clips from his TV personality days and reality TV and all that kind of stuff. So I'm excited to see what all airs. Because also one thing about reality TV that I want to kind of like open up the visual of that maybe you guys haven't thought about is we film our stuff and we film stuff with our friends, but we don't know what's going on behind closed doors. Just like in real life, you don't know what's going on behind closed doors in someone else's house, what they're filming and what they're doing and what those scenes will look like. So I really have no idea what that's going to look like. But like when it comes to filming with him, like we had a good time. Jax is such a big personality.
Yeah.
He was cracking me up sometimes. Like he's just got he's got a personality. Oh, yeah. I'm excited to see how it all comes together on the show and also in their private moments that we weren't around. It'll be very interesting to see how that all turns out.
Love you, Jax.
I think you already said that.
I love you, Jax.
Ooh, this is from Janet Elizabeth. Janet. She's on the show with us. Hi, Janet. So if you guys don't know who Janet is, you will very shortly because she is on The Valley with us. Janet and Jason. They're sweet baby boy.
Is Cap or no?
Oh, no, that's her middle name. Like Natasha Alexis.
Oh, okay.
Janet Elizabeth. So best marriage advice, how to keep the kids alive, the spark alive with kids. You know? How do we keep the spark alive?
It's tough, but you have to have intention to do it because, you can get caught up in, hey, we now have a human that we're both deeply in love with and are trying to figure out this life called parenting. But to still remember to check in with each other and to serve each other and to sacrifice for each other. My parents always said the biggest thing you can do in a marriage is try to outserve one another.
Yeah.
And
that's such good advice.
Even with kids, you got your duties. You can outserve in those types of ways. It's okay, you can cry.
No, I was trying not to burp into the mic.
I'm spitting some real wisdom here. It's okay, babe. It's okay.
Okay.
You're burping in the mic right now.
No, I sat back so you guys wouldn't hear it.
Wow.
I'm gonna say on like a very practical piece of advice is schedule date nights and just have them on the calendar. Like when it was just Asher, it was every Thursday. We would try to get out for a date night. We had a babysitter that expected to be at our house on Thursdays.
Yeah.
So be very intentional with your time together. If you're a person of faith like we are, this is like the order things go in. It's first, most important is your relationship with God, and then your relationship with your partner, your spouse, and then your children. I feel like the entire family will be healthier and happier if you keep your relationship with each other a higher priority than kids. I mean, you don't love the kids, you don't serve the kids, you're not there for the kids. You 100% are an amazing parent, but you have to keep each other as like number one.
Yeah.
Or two,
My 101-year-old grandpa
Okay.
just posted something, and it said, shoot, I'm going to screw this up.
Yeah, we can come back to it later. I want to
It was something like, you want a good marriage, put your spouse first. You want a great marriage, put God first.
Beautiful.
Something like that.
All right, this is the question that you guys have all been waiting for. What is Daniel's full story about how he met you? This is from Sherry Lynn.
What?
Her name is Sherry Lynn.
Haven't I already talked about this? The full story?
No, you didn't tell the full story because I cut you off and everybody was mad about it.
Oh my gosh, guys.
Tell us the story.
Here
how
we go.
We met.
Buckle up.
According to Daniel.
According to Daniel.
Yes.
So I remember this when you cut me off.
Yeah.
So my good friend Chris Wolf was getting engaged to Kristen Dalton. Shout out to you two, who was Miss USA 2009, and it was at a restaurant. It was a surprise, and he had invited all his guy friends. She didn't know, but all her girlfriends knew. Mm-hmm. So there was probably 50, 60 of us
At least. That's a big engagement party.
Big restaurant at the Americana in Glendale. And I remember first seeing you walking with a guy into the place. And I was like, well, there's one hot chick right there. So I knew it was just going to be a bunch of hot women. It was going to be all her pageant friends. Mm-hmm. And then when I finally got up there, I had turned to my friend Ryder, and I saw you from across the room, and I said, "Oh my gosh, that's one of the most beautiful women I've ever seen.
Aww.
And but you were there with a guy, so I was like, obviously it's her boyfriend.
Pause. All my girlfriends had brought their boyfriends. This guy wasn't my boyfriend, but all my girlfriends brought their boyfriends. So I was like, I want to bring someone. So
you brought a date.
I brought a date,
right?
But it wasn't like my boyfriend. Just a date.
So. Throughout, obviously, the evening, Kristen comes. All the girls are over there. They're screaming and crying and doing the whole thing.
Of course.
At some part in the night, we were in a circle of people, and we were introducing ourselves. And that's when I first initially met you, and you met me. And I think you said, I think you did. I think you said I was a Disney princess, or I'm a friend of a princess.
This is the first time you've ever refreshed my memory in that.
Yeah.
And I do remember being in a circle of people and saying that. You were in that circle?
I was in that circle.
You guys, I don't have any memory of meeting Daniel that night.
Exactly.
And you're kind of at least pulling the moment back to me. It's like everything is a blur, but like that moment, I do remember like meeting people and talking
of 8
about
to
that.
10 people, and
Right.
and a lot of people didn't know each other, so it was just like introducing yourself.
Hi, my name is Nia, and I'm a Disney princess.
Pretty much.
You know what? I think this is how I said it. Someone probably said, "What do you do for work?" And I said, "Well, I'm a princess."
Probably.
Yeah. Because that's life.
So that happened, and then I stalked her a little bit on Facebook, and then 3 months later, I was serving on a Good Friday service at church at Mosaic, and she walked in, and I said, "Oh my gosh, that's Nia Sanchez. This is the girl that I've been stalking on Facebook for 3 months," But she just was sitting in the lobby, and I was greeting people at the door. And so I was like, well, obviously she's sitting in her lobby because she's waiting for her boyfriend that she was there at the engagement party with. Well, another friend came in.
I was waiting for my girlfriend who had invited me to church.
Yes. Brittany. Yes.
Brittany.
And they came to my door, and I said, "Hey, Nia Sanchez, right?"
And I was like, who is this strange man that knows my first and last name? And I have never met him in my life.
Strange, ridiculously good-looking
Sexy.
man. Hello. I said, "No, we had briefly met at Chris and Chris." And she was like, "Oh, yeah, totally."
Nope, no idea.
So she goes in, service is happening, and then what did you say to your friend?
And then the service is over, and we were like on a whole nother part of the church, the auditorium area. But I told my girlfriend Brittany, we literally like beelined it back to the opposite side of the church to go out the doors that Daniel was greeting at because I wanted to say bye on the way out. I'm like, we gotta go say bye to that cute guy. So on the way out, we said bye, and he stopped me, and because they had just announced that there were book clubs starting, and he was like, "Hey, are you doing a book club?" And I said, "Yeah, I am. I have Brittany and I are actually hosting a book club." And then, what was your question?
Is it co-ed?
Really wanted to know if he could get there. And because, there were some like men's book clubs, women's book clubs, and co-ed ones. So I was like, yeah, it is co-ed. The more the merrier. Like, you're welcome to come. So apparently Daniel was signed up to a book club that was like 2 blocks away from his house.
I had already signed up from a book club. Yeah,
that he could
so
like
2
walk
blocks.
to. It was so close. I lived over 20 minutes away.
Yes.
He canceled that book club
After
real
that service,
quick.
I made a call and I said, "Hey, so sorry, man. I actually am going to be going to a different book club."
Obviously, he had to come to ours, and he messaged me on Facebook before book club started, because it was like two weeks or so until it started.
Yeah.
And he was like, "Hey, I'd love to take you out and get to know you." And I was like, "Okay, I think we took it from Facebook to text messages."
Yeah.
You had suggested LACMA, which is like a museum in LA, museum area.
We had already talked about all this on the first. Yes.
Or
about Runyon.
Runyon. And then I was like, I'll leave it up to you. And then I think we have to talk about the glitter on the bed, and then we can stop our story there. Yeah?
Okay. Yes. Did you talk about the Daniel fast? That's kind of crazy too.
I'm going to say that at the end.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
I want to make sure we're doing the right amount of time for this podcast, but this is such a good story.
we
If you
decided
like, hear it,
to go on. I could not believe she had never done Runyon. Runyon, if you live in LA or know anything about LA, Runyon Canyon is like the hike that everybody does. It's a great workout.
place
You
to
can
be.
do it multiple. Yeah. You'll see celebrities, doing it all the time, and it's nothing too crazy. But she had never done it, and I was like, it's iconic. You have to. The views are gorgeous. You can see all the way from downtown to Catalina to, the ocean. So she rolls up in
Well,
Full-on
first, when Daniel
hiking,
met me,
trekking shoes, and a
First.
camel pack.
yes.
Thinking that she's going to go hike Mount Everest.
Yeah. So first, when Daniel met me, I was blonde.
And she was wearing a backpack.
He asked out a blonde on a date.
I did.
And I had that morning before our first date gone to the salon and dyed my hair dark brown. So he probably was like, who is this girl?
Yeah.
It was definitely
was.
a shock. And yes, I did come with my trail shoes, my trail hiking shoes. Actually, they're trail running shoes. A pink Camelback backpack with a water spout. I had those old school Victoria's Secret pink yoga pants, capri ones that flared out a little bit at
They
the
were
knee.
so hideous.
With like the fold over band.
They were so hideous.
If you are our age, you know what I'm talking about. If you're younger, you don't. And then, but
they were like baggy and no form fitting at all.
they were a little form fitting.
No.
Okay. Anywho, the part getting to the glitter on the bed. So I get to his place and I'm wearing like day clothes from like getting my hair done and lunch with my girlfriend. So I was like, oh, I need to change into my athletic clothes. So he was like, oh, well, you can change like the bathroom or my bedroom, like whatever. Just I'll stay out here in the living room. You can go change. And so I went into his bedroom. But the backpack that I brought all my stuff in was my work backpack.
And you worked where?
And I worked at Disneyland. So it was a sparkly pink backpack with Disney princesses on it, like a child's backpack.
It was a 7-year-old
Covered in glitter.
girl's backpack.
So I, put my backpack on the bed, got changed, cut to date's over. I leave. I'm going to hang out with my girlfriends. And Daniel texts me like, what'd you say?
I go into my bedroom and my bed is covered in glitter.
Yeah.
And I
Poor
text
guy.
you or I called you. I think I text you. And I said, hey, what is all this glitter on my bed? And she goes,
No, hold on. I think you're going to say it wrong. I feel like I said like, oh, what a magical moment or like something.
I think you said, oh my goodness, you had a magical moment or a magical experience. And I was like, who is this woman?
It's like I was Tinkerbell or something.
Exactly.
Leaving glitter all
Pixie
over his
dust.
bed. What in the
Think
world?
a happy thought and come fly to me.
So that's more of the full story
Yeah.
of how we met and not cutting Daniel off as much. There are two little fun like God moments in there that are really cool to me. No, just one God moment. So I had never completed like a spiritual fast in my life. Like one time in high school I tried and I like got through half a day. It didn't happen. So me and my girlfriends, we said we're going to do a fast, and it was a 21-day fast. And the last day of the fast was Good Friday. And that was like leading up to Easter.
And what's a fast for people that don't know?
A fast is like you remove something from your life that, is normally a part of your life. So some people will like Lent for, Catholic community
Right.
is a fast where you might say, oh, I'm not going to do chocolate. Or I'm not going to do caffeine. Or I'm not going to do carbs or what, a lot of people take out food. For me and my friends, we all did our own choices. I think I fasted from social media for 21 days and like we fasted from a whole bunch of certain type of like processed food. So it was it was a very specific fast. It's in the Bible. I'm doing this fast. I go to church. It's Good Friday. I meet Daniel. A few months later, I realize that I finished the 21-day Daniel fast. That's the name of the fast, the Daniel fast, on the day that I met Daniel, my future husband, at
Wow.
church. And it was his first time ever serving at church. So I'm like, ding, 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 God
Wow.
moments. Like the one fast that I ever complete in my entire life is named the Daniel fast. And I meet Daniel on the last day of the fast as I'm completing it.
Crazy.
Like, crazy. So this one we'll do really quick. Were you friends with Jax and Brittany? This is from Elizabeth. No. Were you friends with Jax and Brittany before filming? Yes, we were. We were friends with Jax and Brittany for almost 2 years before filming.
Yeah.
And we love them so much. We've done Disney dates with them, double dates with them, hang out at their house, go to all the birthday parties. Like we love them so much. So yes, we've definitely been friends with Jax and Brittany for quite some time before filming. Let's see. All right, this is going to be our last question, maybe second to last question. We're not going to get too in-depth because I want to wrap it up for you guys, but this is from Amy Finn. She says, how are you guys really doing? I have a 4-month-old and I don't know how you can do it with 2. So we pretty much already answered that. That's why we're not going to get into details, but in this exact moment right now, we are, in my opinion, we are very tired, but we see the light at the end of the tunnel. I feel like we've already kind of said this, but we have hope. We just hired a nanny and we will have help 3.5 days a week. And we also are starting sleep training. So I truly believe if you guys like stick with us through this podcast, it's going to be so much better. It's already good. It's going to be great.
Yes.
Because in like a week or two, we're going to be brand new people, you guys.
It's going to
be a whole new world. And I can't
we may
wait.
even change our names.
That's how great it's going to be. And then last
But
question.
yes, we are burning the candle at both ends.
But we're almost out of it. We're coming to a great season so soon.
It's going to be amazing.
All right. This is from AGGRANDOS 23. Last one. What is your favorite memory together? We're going to have to make it short and sweet so we can wrap up and say thanks for listening. But favorite memory.
Yeah.
There's so many great memories. I'm going to say the first one that came to mind, I could probably tell you 10 more, but the first one that came to mind was our entire 3-week vacation in the Maldives in the middle of the pandemic because all 3 resorts we were at were almost completely empty. And we just got to like live our best life with nobody around in the Maldives. That was probably one of my favorite memories. What about you?
I have to agree.
No, pick a new one.
I know. I can't. What other?
Watching me give birth to your children. That could be a favorite memory.
That was a favorite memory. And how about marrying you? That was a favorite memory.
Oh, see, there we go.
I was going to also say Paris. Paris was quite an
Paris
amazing
was
trip
incredible.
for your birthday, your 30th birthday.
Yes.
Took you to Paris.
Well,
just say it. Took you to Paris.
No, I was in Germany.
I took you to Paris on your 30th birthday.
If you guys want to know more about that, we'll talk about it later. Daniel took me to Paris for my 30th birthday. That's what we'll say.
All right.
Okay, you guys.
We did it?
We did it.
Wow.
We survived another episode. You survived with us. It was fun. Thank you so much for hanging out with us.
Thank you.
We love you guys. We're going to be back next week with a very special Valentine's episode. It is fun and it is for everyone. It's not just for people in relationships. I feel like everybody's going to love it and have great takeaways. So thank you for listening. Make sure you subscribe, you follow us, and you check us out next week. We will see you guys very soon. Love ya. Bye.
Peace.
See you next week.
See you next week.
All right.
Yay Networks.